Okay, now to launch our reading tonight with reading number 365, when it is appropriately Poetry Month in April 2020, I'd like to introduce Christianne Balk. Christianne.
Thank you, Peggy, and thank you so much for hosting It's About Time, a great series. And thanks to everybody who's out there. I'd like to read tonight a series of poems that I've been working on for a while, inspired by my grandmother's experiences as a nurse in World War I. And the poems that I'm going to read today span from the very first early days when the war was a rumor not yet happening. The voice of a young woman. My grandmother was actually around 16 years old when she decided to join the French nursing corps. She was French. So these poems kind of capture, I hope, or they attempt to capture, the very fast evolution that happened from the excitement of the war, the desire to help, to the realities of serving in a casualty station in the eastern part of France near Colmar. The first poem is called Stopwatch. England, July 1914. My grandmother at the time was working as a nanny in England. As if my brother's mouthy, football-sized Pekingese could stand up to any real dog. As if brewing ginger beer, kneading scones for church bazaars, or fielding balls on tamped clay courts will help anyone. Mama, your to-do list corsets me. I won't give up my mist and striped hills. I follow bush willow creeks down slopes fringed with oak trunks rich with thick moss skirts. Sidestepping common red-tailed bumblebees and stinging nettles, I race to find an hour. The hummingbird's air-stunned, beaked curiosity stops watch and breeze, her blessed whirring wings thin-drawn and sheer, beside the dragonfly's metallic gunpowder green body long tapering. Twin tails so fine they seem to spool light. I sit suspended on the edge. Triangular black wetland flies flock endlessly, bloody, desperate for blood. Tiny feet brush my lips, barely repelled by citronella oil. Pond lilies grow still madder yellow. Why obey insistent bells, ringing me back home to geometry, 3 pastel sketches, groom and walk the dog. Mama, why are you so busy helping my brother pack? Get your work done, he sails soon. Mama, can't you see? Bright handbills, tree-tacked everywhere, beg girls like me to join the first aid yeomanry. Now we quickly jump to the Vosges Mountains, October 1915. And this is a series of several poems that are written as letters. The first one is from the main character of this series, whose name is Suzanne, the first poem captured her voice in this series. So here she is writing to her friend Gwen, who is also serving as a nurse in World War I. Gwen is serving in a different part of France. This is called Eviscerations. This morning across the tent, the doctor lifted rags piled on a soldier's stomach. Here now, come, snapping at me as if I were his dog. Stumbling, tripping over stretches, crowded wall to wall, I glimpsed a mound, claret red, beneath the doctor's cupped hands, fingers spread like rungs of a small cage, through which I saw what seemed to be a flower, deep carmine, like the ones your mom grew in her garden, Gwendoline, dahlia, cochineas, half sphere of densely packed petals, so closely curled they arched together in a single globe. lavage, kabarlak. With one hand, he sliced a line midsection to the dark navel. Let's play hide the sausage, gently pushing the soldier back inside himself again. Get that fucking dog off my gut. He weighs 10 stone. Our patient coming to. Morphine. I slipped 2 blue tablets under his blue-veined tongue. Merde, the doctor pointed. See there, exit wound, a single bullet ripping back to front. Tiny, careful stitches closed him up. Broken tooth zippers zigzagging. Send this blighty back line. Now all I see every time I close my eyes are the boy's blooms, a non-stop picture show, blocking sleep. This is Gwen's response to Suzanne. What's wrong with seeing flowers, dear Suzanne? Hold them close and sleep will come. Remember Mom's pepper patch just behind her dahlias? How we pulled all the seedlings up one day thinking they were weeds? Let yourself go back. Think of Empress Josephine years ago, her favorite species, Dahlia coccinea, bushels of black market tubers from Spain, nightly carted in secret to her beds, where she herself, with her own hands, buried them unseen. Imagine them unfurling, new leaves inching higher, buds opening, The fabric that once billowed between dream and day has ripped wide open now. Give this no due. Pretend your dreams are your real work. The laws that guide our waking hours do help. No sitting down to rest, no friendliness with patients beyond the necessary touch, no walking alone at night or day, no meeting any man off hours without matron's nod, no civilian dress in camp. This webbing holds us, taut and strong, canvas stretched to hide the sanitary crew's still heaps. Let yourself dream only when you sleep. You'll soon find yourself forgetting that first bloom. There will be more. Few will live a week. Suzanne then answers, you ask what's wrong with flowers? They're gone, Gwen. Closing my eyes, all I see is that boy's face glazed with sweat, his head shaking, no more. As if arguing with his own body, begging his lungs to stop breathing. Heart twins, they could have spared his pain. Mechanical lobes, they listen only to their own laws, forcing his swollen abdomen to rise and fall for over 48 hours. Slowly, his small, bruised, septic skin turned from pale to gray, like the undersides of magnolia leaves dulled by early frost. All I see is his gaping wound reopening as the stretcher bearers laid him on our makeshift table. The scent of iron's sharp metallic aftertaste clings to our clothes. The mask of blood and flux never leaves us, soaking aprons, bedcloths, towels, pillows. None of us have slept since that boy went off. Matron urges us to nap. We just lie wide awake. The sappers say he was 16. Empress Josephine's prized flowers. Betrayed, she ordered every dahlia tuber, seed, stem, and bud dug up from her garden, chopped to mulch, carted to the coast, and dumped in piles below the rack line's slick, eelgrass stained rocks. This last poem takes place a little later in the war, after Suzanne has suffered from a accident, an injury, and it's called Mule Hymn. From chute/scarps gawking at their own fall, lines gliding through gouged valleys, to the foothills where smooth-soled hinnies slip-slide freely down the makeshift stable's wobbly pine floors, past the hackneys, discarded hobnails, snow-starved meadows, dank rivulets, crippled cows. We swing the morning sun's wide swaddle of neat weight, cradling damaged men down this sheer incline, careening. My legs can't stop crisscrossing, tumbling, trotting, tripping over switchbacks, swooping all the way down to the lowlands where bonfires mark railroad cars, impatient for the precious loads we lug. Thank you all for listening.
So much, Christianne, and thank you for kind of eloquently starting us in this new adventure of a series. Now we're going to be switching gears, and I hope switching YouTube channels, and we'll be hearing David Massengale as he reads his short story, The Twilit World. Thank you.
Nice intros.